but are interested in more of like career tech opportunities, and maybe those who are even interested in going on to like a 2-year tech school after they graduate from high school. So it gets them that technological experience early on while they're in high school, and allows for certain certifications before they even finish high school. Unitec is offered for any interested juniors and seniors. The way to be able to join is to fill out an application. For any of our students who do the Unitec program, they earn 3 credits for doing the Unitec program, and then they earn 3 credits through us with their regular schedule of classes. For any student who attends Unitec, they attend half of their day at the Unitec Career Center and then half of their day at Farmington High School. So what their schedule would look like is either they have Unitec in the morning and then they are in classes at Farmington High in the afternoon. And those classes at Farmington High would consist of their ELA class, their science class, and their history class. So the one thing that Unitec does is they take math at Unitec, so there is a little bit of classroom time that they have to do at Unitec. And 2 years of doing Unitec fulfills their 3rd math requirement for Farmington High School. So there's a lot more flexibility whenever it comes to senior year as far as classes that they would take, but Unitec would be on their schedule again for half of the day, and then whatever required courses they still needed to fulfill for graduation would be put on their schedule for the other part of the day. But Unitec certainly offers wonderful opportunities for our kids. In some of those programs, they actually get a little bit of work experience that can be added into that. I know specifically with the phlebotomy certification, that is something where work can be tied into that program. So there's a lot of neat things going on there. We're excited that our kids have this opportunity because we know that sitting in the classroom all day long isn't for all students, and we certainly need students and people that go into skilled trades to keep our economy going.
Thanks, Brian. Now we go on to my outdated segment, Cool Stuff That Happens. Take it away, me.
What's crackalackin' nights? I'm your nappy-headed co-host, Cage Dobbs, and this is my new show, Cool Stuff That Happened, where I recap the last few weeks of things I consider news. Perseverance, the Mars rover that launched in 2020, successfully landed on the surface of Mars on February 19th. We received many high-quality images of both the landing, the Mars surface, and the blue Mars sunset. A massive split in the polar vortex caused the United States to be extremely cold for a period of 2 weeks. This split was the cause of the massive power outages in Texas, and even at one point, some of the Midwest was colder than the Arctic Circle. Keith Gill, known online as Roaring Kitty, a leader in the subreddit community Wall Street Bets, who was responsible for the rise of stocks like GameStop and AMC, recently testified to a Congress committee in his super cool Secret Labs Game of Thrones gaming chair. Let's go! I got it! The past few weeks have seen some weird beefs. JoJo Siwa, a 17-year-old singer known for being kid-friendly and upbeat, was strangely targeted by DaBaby in his song Beatbox Freestyle. DaBaby claimed that this line went over a lot of his fans' heads, and that his daughter is a huge fan of JoJo Siwa, and there was no beef. On that note, Soulja Boy, a famous rapper, but more importantly, creator of the Soulja game console, who also seems to never get into strange situations, was beefing with WWE star Randy Orton over the reality of wrestling. That's it. They were just arguing on Twitter about it. On February 22nd, the music industry traded a soul for a soul. Bobby Shmurda, arrested in 2016 for conspiracy, got out early in 2021 on parole. Not even a couple hours later, famous electronic duo from France, Daft Punk, announced that they were disbanding their band. People are mad, but they only made 2 albums. Thank you for watching my show, Cool Stuff That Happened. Remember to go get your Shamrock Shake before they're gone.
Wait, hold it over. Alec, what are you doing? I'm in the rain. Figure it out.
It's ready.
That was some cool stuff.
Very true. And it happened.
That it did. Now, Gage Jensen, Sam Knight, and Jeffrey Baker will be showing us some things we didn't know about our teachers at FHS that many of us might not have known.
I know everything, so I mean, it's going to be surprising. Let's see what they got up their sleeve.
Probably, well, I'm late 40s, so not quite 40 years, probably 37, 38, since I was probably 10 or 11. Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up a little bit like late 70s, like early 80s was when I like hit around that 10 or 11, range or whatever. So, like, there was a little bit of like, Kiss, Alice Cooper, like Van Halen, like that kind of stuff from like back in the day when I was little. And then just gradually progressed into some other stuff. So, listened to, I'm sure, to like some of the what people would refer to as hair bands, like Motley Crue or whatever, in the early 80s, because they kind of became popular. And then I pretty quickly kind of listened to like a little bit of punk stuff on the side, and then kind of got into like thrash bands, like Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, that kind of stuff, like mid 80s, and then pretty much never looked back after that. I think I like guitar music, so I mean there's an aspect of that. So if you're talking metal, it's a very guitar oriented kind of a thing. So, and usually multiple guitars, and depending on what kind of band you're listening to, they're going to be a lot more intricate or whatever. So like thrash bands especially, always have that sort of, element. And then when you start moving into like more technical bands or like, even like death metal and that kind of stuff that tends to be more aggressive or whatever, you're going to have that, component to it. And I'm always pretty much the louder and faster the better. And that's just something I've always been into. And there's something to it that the other stuff just doesn't really compare. And it's, not something I'm going to probably ever stop listening to. So I'll be some old guy in a nursing home listening to some death metal band probably. There's some teachers in the building that we occasionally chat when we don't have work stuff or like after that are fans and listen to similar stuff. So you're gonna find those people in just about anywhere, for the most part. So you'll always find them around. It's not probably as socially acceptable in some circles. I would say the number's less. So, and I think that there's just some trends in like society. I think pop culture stuff is kind of trended away from it. So a lot of metal stuff pretty much hit that high water mark, and you get those kind of, again, like hair bands like the Def Leppards and that kind of stuff in the 80s that were super popular. And you had a bunch of kids and like girls especially like back at that point that listened to that kind of stuff. I mean, you got to really know what somebody's into. So like there's a lot of metal bands, I think you kind of have to ease your way into it. So it's not something most people don't just dive into, like extreme, like hardcore metal bands, like, on day one. So somebody usually edges their way into it by listening to, stuff like Van Halen or classic rock type stuff or whatever. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, there's obviously talent there, so I'm not saying that some guy who writes, country music is, not a good musician or whatever, because they obviously are in many instances. Or even like pop stuff that I'm not a fan of, like, Lady Gaga's of the world or whatever. They clearly have a lot of talent at what they do. They just don't do something that I like.
All right, well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
After that, Garrett, do you still know everything?
May or may not have known everything, but I do know one thing. There's always more to learn here at FHS. And speaking of things to learn, we have Ryder Hunt and Garrett Ward giving us a behind the scenes of how FHS students train in their off season.
Everyone knows that if you want to be good at a sport, you need to train in the off-season.
Here's what some of the athletes at FHS do in the off-season to do their best.
I coach cross-country and track. For cross-country, the biggest thing is the kids just need to run year-round. I mean, that's the biggest. Through the winter and head out on the road and get runs in. They do it all on their own. Same thing during the summer. The fall sport usually starts early August and runs through early November. In our sport, you have almost no chance of being successful if you're not really dedicated in the off-season. The connection between training in the off-season and being ready to perform as the season progresses is a very strong connection.
My coach is Art Daniels. We'll just go and swim, on weekdays. I think it's just a good idea to stay in shape. When you take a break or if you're not training on the off-season, your form gets a little sloppy. It's just good to train and make sure your form doesn't get bad.
I play golf here at FHS, and my coach is Brad Downs. He's a great coach and prepares us very well. Off season, I like to get out and play as much as I can on the real course, but here at FHS we have a great facility for practice indoor, and we like to use that. It's very important to train in the off season because, especially for golf, it's a sport you have to practice a lot. And a lot of training will just make you better. For me, the more consistent, it makes me more consistent, and I'll see better scores and a lot of improvement.
We're almost done here, but we still got one more segment in store.
That's right. Head Chef Alec Berg and sous chef Ray Morrow have another dish prepared for the newest episode of What's Cooking.
What's up, FHS? I'm sous chef Ray Morrow.
I'm Head Chef Alec Berg.
And welcome back to What's Cooking.
Today we'll be making some ice cream.
But first, let's go get some input from the students.
I hate this channel.
No! No!
Nick, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate.
Hey, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate.
Why is everyone saying chocolate? What? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate, easy.
Why is everyone saying chocolate? Aiden, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate.
What the Landon, hey, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Dark.
What? Okay. All right, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Flavor of ice cream? Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. Okay, Jonah, come here. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Moose Tracks all the way.
What is that?
Moose Tracks has peanut butter cups, fudge stripes, vanilla ice cream, chocolate syrup, best thing you've ever ate.
All right, thank you. Rylan, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Vanilla.
Okay, good answer. Wait, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
You know I like that cookies and cream. That cookies and cream good.
Cookies and cream is good. Jacob, what's your favorite? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Chocolate is so good. I love it from Dairy Queen, or I get the Oreo Blizzard from Dairy Queen. Highly recommend it.
We're back in Head Chef Alec Berg's kitchen.
But before we get cooking, it's time to take a look at those ingredients.
For this recipe, you'll need sea salt, heavy whipped cream, pure vanilla extract, whole milk, and sugar. Vanilla bean.
So for making ice cream, you're gonna need an ice cream maker, but the first thing you gotta do is take this part and put it in the freezer. First, you wanna add 1 cup of your heavy whipping cream into a pot. Then add in 3/4 cup of sugar.
And now add in 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Now go ahead and grab your vanilla bean and split it down the middle and scrape the seeds out.
Dude, it's literally just splitting it. Like, it's definitely not cutting it. Just not coming off the knife. It's just stuck on my finger. Dude, this is atrocious. Dude, just buy vanilla bean ice cream at this point, guys. Not gonna lie. So now that we have our vanilla in there.
Oh, dude, just peeling it works good.
What did you think about that?
Now go ahead and whisk the mixture until the sugar dissolves. This feels like a perfect place to put Pog, Alec.
Putting that in everything. 2 Pog Alex.
Just put like 3.
No, next time it'll be like me up on like the top. Like, eventually it'll just be like all Pog Alex.
The screen is just filled with Pog, Alec. Then add in another 3/4 cup of heavy cream. Now add in 1 1/4 cup of whole milk.
Then whisk it together. Oh my. Oh my. Now pour the mixture into the ice cream maker and let it churn for 20 minutes.
All right, me and head chef Alec Berg decided to spice things up and add 2 special ingredients. Our first one is gonna be a dash of this Tabasco sauce. Yeah.
How much are you putting in there?
All right, and the next ingredient is gonna be crumpled up Pop-Tarts. Oh no! This is a bad idea. This is such a bad idea.
What even churn?
Here's what we do. You just mash it. Dude. He's gonna come try the food.
Alright. 1, 2, 3.
Was that the bite of 87?
Very good. Good job, guys. Move.
It's that bad.
Pretty good. Good God. Good job, guys. That is actually I swear that is the worst thing I've ever tasted.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we got left for this episode. I'm sous chef Ray Morrow.
I'm head chef Alec Burke.
Thanks for watching. That stays so terrible.
So, overall, 9 out of 10.
Are you sure about that?
That's all we've got for today, folks. Before we sign off here, if you haven't noticed, we have a brand new anchor desk. We would like to say thank you so much to Mr. Samson Lamont for building this amazing desk for us here at BKTV, and we cannot wait to put it to good use in further episodes of BKTV News Live.
Now, we would like to give a special thank you to everyone who watched this and helped make this episode. I'm Garrett Sheets.
And I'm Jackson Umfleet, and we'll see you on the next episode of BKTV News Live.